What's up, UTRGV? I'm Karen de los Reyes.
And I'm Karen de los Reyes. Thank you for joining us on this week's edition of UTRGV TV. Fun and education can go hand in hand, kind of like Latina Day, where they hosted a fashion show. Steven Hernandez is here to tell us more.
Ted Cruz announced his vice president if he were to win the election. Who is it?
Media took center stage this week as the U.S. celebrated its first ever Media Literacy Week.
Who was president in 1995?
From the blaring of an alarm to the cries of a child. Like most kids, Brody dreads waking up and getting ready for school. But while Brody looks like most kids in his class, there's one thing that makes him different.
Brody got diagnosed last year, March 31st, 2015.
He is one of the thousands of kids affected by childhood cancer.
He had been getting sick every other week with infections, ear infection, throat infection, ear infection, back and forth.
Without warning, Ashley learned her son would be battling a deadly disease.
I looked around, I didn't have time to cry or react, and I said, okay.
Over time, reality began to sink in.
I had to explain to him that he was sick, but he was going to be okay. Because they're little, why am I getting medicine, or why can't I do this, and why can't I play, and why can't I run outside?
With a broken heart, she had to tell her 4-year-old how cancer would drastically change his life.
He's little. He's supposed to... He's supposed to enjoy his childhood.
175,000 kids are diagnosed with cancer every year. Ashley wanted to do something special to raise awareness.
And these are for you.
Why?
Because people bought these shirts to help you, Papa.
And help me feel better?
Yeah.
They made me feel better?
Yes, everybody's going to wear a shirt that has Brody on it.
The community gathered for a 1-mile fun run at Westlaco City Park. Both Brody and Ashley put their running shoes on and finished the race. Ashley says their journey continues one step at a time.
He has a strength that I didn't know, 'cause I can't cry in front of him.
Brody's cancer is in remission. Doctors say the finish line to be cancer-free is in 2018.
UTRGV is known as the nation's top producer of Hispanic graduates, with 89% of students being Hispanic. The Department of Mexican American Studies organized an event hosted by hip-hop artist Olmeca.
Learning all those lyrics the following day.
The lecture and workshop focused around the Chicano movement and Latino identity.
Talking about the Mexican experience in the United States, both undocumented folks and people who have been here for ages.
As a young Latino growing up in LA, Olmeca explains where his motivation comes from.
In the same way that it has its negative stereotypes, there's beauty in those communities more than anything. That's kind of what it's not that we disregard the other, but we also want to bring light and focus into these other more beautiful, I guess, stereotypes.
Olmeca advises students to be more proactive and to speak up when something is not right.
Symbolic gestures of defiance are probably the most important thing. Perhaps you're not going to change whatever it is that you're fighting for or fighting against, but the symbolic gesture of being defiant and knowing that there's a voice against that it's going to trickle, and it's going to cause an effect, a chain reaction.
Students also spoke out about the obstacles they have faced as a minority in the U.S.
Whenever anyone asks me to identify myself, I do say Mexican American.
Ranked top 4 in the number of bachelor's degrees awarded to Hispanics, UTRGV helps students embrace their culture and heritage. For UTRGV TV, I am Karen de los Reyes.
Here at Whole Women's Health in McAllen, many patients are treated each year. A local artist has made it her mission to bring awareness as to why this clinic is important to residents in the Rio Grande Valley.
In 2013, the clinic closed down because it didn't meet hospital admitting privileges required by law. Almost a year later, the clinic resumed services. Gabriel Martinez offered a perspective on why clinics in the state of Texas are being shut down.
Well, when clinics shut down, especially those that are government funded, That can be through a variety of sources. It could be the lack of funding or the legislator simply not allocating funds to these clinics, just like they can't allocate funds, say, to an education program or anything else. So I think that comes down to just money allocation through the state legislator.
Although the clinic has seen its share of protesters and personal attacks against staff and patients, the event was held to dedicate the mural to the women of the Rio Grande Valley.
La lucha, la entrega, hoy reinventamos lo que seremos mañana.
Local artist Corina Carmona painted the mural to shed light on women's reproductive rights.
A lot of people feel that it gives them validation. You know, it's telling a story, and for some people, that's their story, and that's pretty much the message. There's that message in the artwork, where each woman is holding a light that's emanating from their palms.
The mural took over 5 months to complete, but as you saw, Corina believes it will generate more positivity for the clinic here in the Valley and create a welcoming environment for patients. In McAllen, Karen de los Reyes, UTRGV TV.